Today I would like to show you how to make a yogurt cake. Actually, it looks like a cheesecake, but it's not from cheese. Much lighter, yogurt, much cheaper, and it's delicious and very, very light. At the bottom, there's gonna be a layer of millefeuille in Refika's way. Then there's gonna be some incredibly tasty berries, and then this fluffy yogurt mixture, which is as tasty as cheesecake, but guilt-free. We have 4 millefeuille sheets. I'm going to use them as the base layer. If I use them directly, it's really hard to cut the cake, so I'm going to have a small trick. I'm piercing the millefeuilles for it not to rise too much. This goes to the oven 200 degrees without the fan in the middle for 20 minutes. Now the first layer is building up. The second layer, I'm going to add about 200 grams of sugar. In terms of cups, the recipe is below. And here I have frozen berries. Now strawberry season is coming, so you can do this with the strawberry. Turn on heat. I did this wrong, by the way, guys. I had to first put the berries, then the sugar. Sorry about that. I have 150 milliliters of water, which is a little more than half a cup, and 70 grams starch. This cup was too small, so I'm going to put half and add rest of the starch in. Why am I putting the starch? Because the sugar and the fruits are going to be watery, but we want the bottom to be crunchy. I want the fruitiness all together, so something should hold them together, and in this case it's starch. I dissolve the starch first so that it doesn't have lumps in the mixture. It's like ayran now. I put it in. As you can see, it's turning into a nice pink color. The sugar haven't melted yet. This is now starch at its first stage. When this really gets cooked, now this is opaque. It's gonna turn transparent and it's gonna have this like jammy look, or you know, when you go to a Chinese restaurant and the meat is covered with a like bright, you know, shine. That shine is starch. It's the same thing is gonna happen in here. After that is that way, I'm going to cool it down and use it in the layer. Now the second layer is done. Let's move to the third layer. Third layer, the prima donna, is the yogurt. I'm going to mix it with a bit of starch and a bit of vanilla. I have my vanilla pods from one of my friends from YouTube. In one of my videos, I said in Turkey, we are not using vanilla pods anymore because I think each pod is about 330. That's quite expensive. One day we found a box with a nice chocolate, a lot of different types of vanilla, and this is one of them. Thank you. Now I'm going to put all of this yogurt, which is 650 grams. In a cheesecake, usually cheese, cream cheese, they are about 30-35% fat. But this yogurt, for example, is 6% fat. It's much, much lighter. So about 3 heaped tablespoons of starch again gets in together with the vanilla pod. Ew, yeah. Now I am scraping all these. Wow, as you can see, this is a great quality one. Now they get in. We don't throw these pods away, guys, because they are really precious. What we do, we put this on ordinary sugar. They give all the vanilla taste to the sugar after a week or two. We take them out, put the sugar into the processor, and it becomes a vanilla tasting incredible sugar. You can use it in cakes, puddings, great. Now I mix all these 3 up. By the way, look at this. As you can see, the opaqueness went away. It's quite thick. I turn it off and it's ready. I mix this all up until it's really silky and smooth. Then I am going to mix it with some eggs and sugar. I'm going to make a cloud from the egg white. I'm going to use 4 eggs. Separate the egg yolks from the white. First, take the white out like this. This is one way. Throwing the one from the other one. This is how my mom years ago taught me. To be on the safe side, you crack the egg on one place and each time put the egg white on the bowl that you're gonna make a nice cloud. Why? Because if the egg yolk gets into the egg white, for example, if it's a ruined egg, it doesn't grow as much. Second way, if it's hard for you to crack the egg properly and like something like this happened. What you can do, if your hands are clean, take the egg like this between your fingers and take the egg whites and throw the yolk like this and again throw it in. That's how we put the 4 eggs in. To the egg whites, I put a bit of salt. This is a cool looking cup, but usually this IKEA metal bowls, the bigger one of this, always works better, by the way. But this looks cooler for Bahar. Now, after beating it, the whole thing is still soft, all white. It's not just liquid, it's a white foam. We start adding the sugar. 1 tablespoon in slowly, 15, 14, 13. I have never counted backwards. 3, 2, 1, 0. Another one. Normally I'm, by the way, a big nerd. I used to count backwards, forwards. I'm going to tell this in Turkish. Kendimi rahatlatmak için 7'şer geriye, işte bir tek bir çift ileriye giderek çocukken öyle oyunlar oynardım. It's the thing that made me relax. Now, look at this. We call this rooster peak. As you can see, it's quite well, but it's still a bit soft. I'm going to make it thicker, but before I do that, I'm going to take these babies out to cool them down. I also give this to my team to take it outside to cool it a bit so that I can bring everything together in 5 minutes. Beat this a little more until the peaks are not bendy like this, but a bit thick and high. When the peaks are ready, I fold the vanilla and yogurt mixture to the egg whites. I put a bit of the egg white to the yogurt and then first mix this up to make it a little lighter and easily foldable. Now we are ready to assemble. At the bottom, a bit of butter. Then the puff pastry gets in. We crack this puff pastry like this. They're still a bit big pieces, so practice. Why are we doing this instead of just putting the pastry at the bottom? Is for it to be easily cuttable. We put everything in. At first glance, this might look too much. It will disappear. It's gonna be like a really thin, crunchy layer at the bottom. And then the second layer can get in. As I said, it can be cherry in the summer, apple in the winter time, pear in the winter time, very soon strawberry. It's gonna be great. This could also be very nice with peach. As I poured this, try to leave 2 centimeters on the side and 2 and 2.5 centimeters thickness. I didn't put it on the sides for that it to not to pour and get ruined. On top, put this mixture in. Whoop. Voila. For it to fill the gaps, you can shake it a bit like this, but not too much. I don't beat it down for it to not sink too much. From the refrigerator, I get 1 puff pastry. Whoop. Grind it. Like this, yes sir. This is a nice lesson for grating. For example, short things like this, it's gonna be like a powdery small one. If I want long strips, which I want, I start from the top all the way to down. So the puff pastry creates a nice crunchy flour at the top, then this milky, puffy, cheesy yogurt thing, and then you know the rest. Now, it was 200 degrees from the puff pastry. I reduce it to 180, put it in the middle. As you can see, I turn the tray upside down so that this way it's exactly in the middle of the oven. I'm going to cook it for 40 to 45 minutes. It's going to be crunchy at the bottom and really nice on top. Then I'm going to take it out, let it cool. It has to at least get cooled down in the room temperature for 2 hours and then refrigerate for another 2. Then it's ready to eat. This morning, Adile made this one and it's ready for us. Just 2 days ago, I bought this from IKEA. The beautiful thing about it is you can push this in and it will go out. But we didn't have this one yet. The problem with this one is we have to take this out. To do that, I also want to show you how to make it. Because this is fluffy, I don't want to ruin it too much. I have to be really fast, like this. Geliyor, geliyor. Okay, and then another one comes here. Because I didn't put this much on the sides, but okay. These crumbles are edible, but the ones that are ruined can go to the seagulls of Istanbul. Now, this baby is ready. We are not going to cut it with a bread knife, but a slice knife like this. When I pull it up, as you can see, there is like a jam. The second slice, I don't want to ruin the top of the cake, so I use a paper towel to clean it. Okay. This goes here. And finally, a bit of powdered sugar, if you like, on top. So as you can see, it's 650 grams of yogurt and a bit of puff pastry. And this is a cake for at least 12 people. And it's really light. If you start to eat this, we are in Ramadan, so I don't. First, it's like crunchy and fluffy, as you can see, like this. You get the sourness, you get the sweetness, you get the crunch, everything in one bite, and it's heavenly. That's it, guys. Hope you've enjoyed it. If you've enjoyed it, you know what to do. For all the believers, happy Bayram, Eid Mubarak. Take great care. Share the love by making the recipes, or if you think that someone will love this recipe, share it with that person. By the way, I have to tell you, normally all my recipes are my recipes, but this one, it's not the exact recipe, but I have found it in a channel. I want to give the credit to the channel. I think the name of the channel is Lekker Essen, and I thought, is this real? And I tried it. I had few touches, and then it was gorgeous. Thank you for that. I believe giving credit is also very important in what we're trying to do. Take great care. Lots of love. Bye-bye.